It's your boy HD. Everybody get up on the dance floor and go, and go, and go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the old to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. East side homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the bay skimming. Catch a case cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it, work it, work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarter moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Put you all in the frenzy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go. Already all the way from the O to LA. Crazy. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. All the way from the O to LA.
What's going on? What's going on, good people? It's another Tuesday evening.
Hi, girl.
Hey, ladies. I want to go ahead and welcome everyone on in on this evening. If y'all can't tell, it's ladies' night. Okay, Wynn is running the boards. He's running the boards, but me and the girls got it going on this evening. So for those of you who are new to the scoop, usually it's me and my good brother Wynn, but we're doing something different since Wynn had the fellas on last Tuesday. This Tuesday, I got my good sis Candice Payne in the building, and I got my good girl Shaquita Harris in the building, and we're going to have great hot topic conversation on this evening. Okay, we have been chit-chatting and dropping background links to one another today to get somewhat up to speed on our topic. But what I can guarantee will go on this evening is a good damn time. Okay, so please come on in, get comfortable, get you something to sip on, get that charger, plug it on in. So the kid, I know it's spring break for everybody or lots of folks. Send them babies on out the room. Okay, they may not have a bedtime, but it's time to close the door so you can enjoy the show. Okay. So feel free to go ahead and hit that share button so your girls can join us. Fellas, if you're trying to get on the inside of no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna go Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna do it. Use violence early on this. Let's just support intelligent women's thoughts and opinions on some things. Come on in the room and enjoy yourself this evening, okay? Per usual, I would invite you all to please drop your city and state where you are watching from in the comments section. If you would, we'd like to know where you are tuning in from so we can make sure you never miss a show. We want to get us to where you are. So doing that helps us do that a little bit faster. Yeah, so dropping your city and state lets us know where you are and hitting that share button lets your people know where you will be for the next few minutes. Okay, so I believe that is the shares and comments. But if you can't stay all night, or if you got to catch a replay every now and again, we also want to make sure you are tapped in on all of our social media. And to do that, you can follow us on YouTube at The Scoop Show. We are on Facebook at Real Scoop Show. And we are also on Instagram. We are here on IG at Scoop Radio Show. You can catch our topics. You can catch the replays, you can catch conversations, and great advertisements from our sponsors on all of our social media pages. Okay, so be sure that you hit the thumbs, the bells, the whistles, the likes, the things, so that you never miss the scoop. Okay, now what's up, ladies? How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm good.
I've been waiting for this moment. This is man up.
Yes.
All my life.
All my life. Yeah, we took care of us and set us up right this Tuesday. So I'm so excited. Super excited.
Let's do it.
I want to give my due to everyone, because if you are not new to the scoop, Candice is not a stranger. We've seen Candice time and time again. Okay, my first ever, I was thinking about this day before yesterday, sis. My first ever online podcast experience was talking with you, like eons ago. Like the very first time I ever logged on to any type of experience like this, I was talking to you. So I think that's
breadwinner.
Yes.
Yes.
We have been having these types of conversations since the very first time we ever talked.
Wow. That goes back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like forever. It just popped up in my brain. I was like, well, damn, it has been. Oh, wow. We don't know any other direction but deep. Like, it's
right. And we miss the walk too. We love that though.
Oh yeah. It's always a good time. Yeah. But Quita has been like one of my besties in my head forever because, and it's so funny that I say this because we don't always agree. Okay, I don't know if that's right, but we do not always agree.
No, but we still mesh. Like we.
But yeah, so when we were
still my homie though, like
exactly, like that's my girl. So when we were discussing like who would we want to bring together to have good conversation, because I didn't want to have a panel of everyone who we all thought the same kind of way, you know.
Right,
that's not fun. Who wants to do that? So I wanted to make sure we had some diversity of thought, but could still have some really good conversations. And I was like, yep. Dunsies, like put him in the chat. Yeah, so I'm super excited to have you ladies on tonight to talk about these conversations and to see the different twists and turns that I'm positive we will end up on tonight. All right, so we are right on time. Come on now, timeliness, yes. So let's go ahead.
Because we women. Carrying on.
So we're gonna start off with one that is probably going to shock some folks because traditionally this is like our jam. Okay, we are going to talk about normalizing not having weddings. Our first hot topic, we might be choosing violence for a lot of ladies, like out the gate. Okay, so this first hot topic is let's normalize not having weddings. Just sign your paperwork in private and go on a honeymoon. F them other people. So coming from a sis who had a courthouse wedding and a nice little shindig back at the house, I'm with it. Like I'm with it. I say do the big party on one of the milestone anniversaries, 10, 15, you know, something like that, when you've actually acquired some coin possibly and you don't have to bankrupt yourself to have the big shindig. Yeah, you know, and that's what I'd say is it makes the most sense when it's all said and done. After being married for it.
I'm for the wedding. I'm for the wedding. However, my financial mindset just won't allow for ridiculous, unnecessary, unjustifiable expenses. Like, you know, I'm for the wedding the first time. If you get married twice, sis, I'm probably yes. I ain't spend all that money on wedding number 2. I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy the expensive shoes, and I ain't.
So I hope you made the first one. And you
now the first time, because the second time I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna celebrate you and I'm gonna love you. But I ain't splurging.
I ain't showing out like I showed up and showed out.
I showed up and showed out the first time. And hey, the second time I ain't got it in me. I love you dearly, but I just ain't got it in me. So, but I like weddings. I think they're great. I don't like the idea of spending a ridiculous amount of money to impress people who have no interest in your marriage whatsoever.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. I've seen a lot of people go into marriage going into that trying to impress other people. That is so weird to me. That's the part I don't get. But I am down for the wedding as long as it's reasonable.
Yeah.
I see. So, I love. Y'all know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for it. I go to all your weddings. If you didn't work out the first, second, and third time, I'll be at the fourth one as if I didn't call your last husband bro and everything. My new brother, I love you so much. I just love him so much. I do all of that. But so I think
you ain't.
Hey, bro, again.
so your nieces and nephews here.
Period. Right. We all
That's a good sis. That's how you supposed to do it.
I'm a good sister. So, but you know what? But I get it. F them people. And because I'm sorry, y'all, my child. Because I don't, because I have now the whole point about people who don't support you or whatever. Like now that I am married, been 16 years, I would definitely say so much has changed. Like when you get married the first time, it's like especially if you were young, we were younger. So I think the view of marriage or your friendships and relationships were all different then. You know what I mean? Like this was my best friend, this was the maid of honor, this was that person. So so many things have changed in like a decade or more. Where our friends now include other people, include people who understand covenant. We've matured, we've grown. Yep. So I think even like now, if there was a second wedding, like to me, I have a greater understanding now of marriage than what I did when I was 24.
It would be much easier to make it get right now.
Now as a 40, like I should do it again because but it would be a way. Like I would definitely. And I didn't have a big wedding because I didn't want to spend all that money. Like you said, that financial side of me, like my parents, my daddy is one of 13, my mama one of 12. I got 1,000 cousins, a million. It's just too much going on in the family that's just too much. It would have been a big lot.
Yeah.
Like a 4th of July picnic or something. So
yeah, for real.
That's what it would have been in my family. So it just wasn't that to me, that wasn't financially feasible. But like you were saying, just a bunch of people in the room who was side-eyeing us getting married to begin with.
Just want to come see. Mm-hmm.
You just want to come see. You were there. You partied. You drank.
Right.
Probably gave us about 5 minutes to live. So
yeah.
No gift. Listen, no gift.
Right. Or got me a cheap ass gift because
ain't Bitmo looked up the registry
at all. You just got me some stuff because like some people just have their views in marriage. So I think now I have so many great people in my life who have a different view and perspective of relationship, covenant, marriage, friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like now it's so much different now.
Yep.
Like it would be different. So I think a person getting married later in life would probably still have a wedding, but I think the spending, like Quita was saying, it'll be different. It'll be wiser. You'll have a different outlook on what you're spending and how much you spend it. But other than that, F them people, because that's really what marriage is about. That's in the Bible.
Boom. Period. I agree. And I also agree with Quita when she says, as far as being reasonable and responsible with the finances. I'm not anti-wedding, but I think we do way too much when it comes to the wedding, to the point where you almost upset on your day. Like you so stressed out about the getting to the day, the people that are there, cussed out everybody in the bridal party, every vendor that you done already paid the money to, or whatever the case may be, like there's so much going on
Yeah.
that you don't even really get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, we gotta start
Yeah.
handle on this.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about it more logically, because you get so caught up in, oh, it's my wedding. And I'm like, baby, if we doing this forever, this is one day.
One day.
We're talking about forever.
Yep. Yep.
No, we're gonna be paying off this one day for you. Absolutely not on my watch.
Yeah, I'd rather splurge on one of those anniversaries long term where we can do a destination something with all of those people that Candice was talking about that get it and have poured into the into the marriage and are with us. Those folks are going to come in and celebrate with us. That's
absolutely.
I agree. We go have a good time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
That's normalized not having big, stupid weddings that we
That's normalized not going into debt to impress people that don't even like you.
Mm-hmm. That part.
They just being nosy. They here to be nosy, and you trying to impress nosy folks. It don't make no sense. No.
The guest list is special, and let's not normalize people pleasing. And that was the thing too. In our 20s, it was too much people pleasing.
Yes, we didn't know.
You don't want to offend nobody. You know? And when was it like we done had 3 kids since talking to them people, some of them people last. You don't know none of my kids.
And you understand the power of a no. Like no is a big word. 2 letters with a whole lot of weight. No.
A whole sentence. Sentence right here.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Exclamation point. I want a pretty
make sure they don't come back, huh? Make sure with that.
Yes.
Listen.
You can get it. Now you know what, Alyssa, I'm not against the pretty dress and a man who loves me.
Yeah.
It's like, he better show up.
Right. Yeah.
First of all, he better show up and say I do.
Yeah. And I'm down for the pretty dress, but what blows me away is it has to be $10,000 and your train got to go all the way outside the church. What are we doing here? Who is this for? Who is this for?
If some of your guests are debating on wearing jeans with holes or not, don't do that.
Don't waste your material on no people.
They're not gonna appreciate it, sis.
They're not gonna appreciate it.
They don't appreciate your effort, boo. Like
they're not gonna appreciate it.
If they gonna text and ask you what can we wear, can I wear? Like, don't do it.
Is that the type of crowd that you really want to waste a $10,000 dress on? Yeah. No.
Dress, dinner, place. Oh, hey.
There you go.
Oh, yes, this got a steal. Okay.
4,000.
That's not bad. It's
4,000 in 4 months, baby. I'm with it.
I can do 4,000.
Yeah.
That's 45,000 that I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Alyssa, I'm here for it. Yes, show me the boots. Yes, please. Absolutely.
Yes. Definitely a short one. Yeah.
Make them sparkle, and I'm here for it.
Please be down for them. You have
glitz them boots, boo. Glitz them boots.
Love it.
Because half of the family members don't even need to be there anyway. But I'll sip this drink.
Next, I think that's a good time for us to go to our next
transition.
That really is. That's a good one. Who you invite?
All right. So next up, we are talking about the show that has got us in our nostalgic feels and per usual got the people talking. Okay. So we're talking about Bel-Air, the reboot, but not really of our throwback show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So this is a post from Mr. J. Banks who says, Bel-Air, number 1, Ashley Banks wasn't never gay. She had the young guys going crazy over her. So why y'all have to switch it up like that? Carlton was a health freak and honored his body too much to do a line of coke. Uncle Phil was a righteous man and honest and stood up for what was right. So why they have to turn him into a crooked politician? Aunt Viv, especially the dark-skinned Viv, wasn't never letting no new ninja smooth talk her like that as a married woman. My point is, why do they always have to turn a powerful, earnest, and healthy Black family into a dysfunctional piece of work? Well, tell us how you really feel, Jay.
The people.
So I thought, I don't watch the show. My cousin this weekend while we were in Houston turned it on, and I literally saw one episode, so I did get the gist of the characters, kind of,
Right.
but I don't really know the storyline. I will say that back then, when Fresh Prince was created, we lived in a very wholesome time.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, as much as we would love for that to exist, it does not.
He was lying.
It was lying in, right?
It doesn't exist. And number one, people make shows to get ratings to make money, and nobody is watching that now.
Mm-mm.
So the
We
show,
call it fake now.
yeah, exactly. It's fake. It's unrelatable. Nobody's relating to that. And I mean, so do gay people not exist? Are we not including? I mean, it's no, she wasn't gay in the first one, but I mean,
It was also the 90s, and we couldn't have an openly gay young
yeah,
black
so
girl
like,
in the midst of that family.
Part.
no, I don't understand. Like, I do like some aspects of like the character, the storylines. Carlton being a cokehead, like, I mean, like this type of stuff is very much so audience drawing. It sucks you in. It draws you in. We love
Dramatic.
the storyline. The whole purpose is to get people to watch the show. Nobody's watching Suburbia. Nobody's watching that.
Mhm.
So I mean, from what I saw, it makes for a very interesting storyline. It's a lot of people's realities. Of course, you want wholesome politicians, and you want to see the black man be. It ain't real. It is not. It's not real.
It's not real enough for me to want to watch it on a regular basis.
Absolutely. So I feel like everything that they did with the characters was what they should have done to draw the audience that they want. I don't see that. I don't feel like they did anything wrong.
Do you watch it, sis? You watch it?
I actually, while I was cleaning my room earlier today, I think I'm on episode 3. So I did start watching it, and I started listening to the podcast of episode 1.
Okay.
While I was doing my makeup.
So
I'm somewhat in the loop, but not looped into the up to the.
Yeah.
So I think the difference too, like I like the Hillary is not the airhead from the
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's very intelligent.
That part I really, really do like. It does create. Now, first of all, if Michael Ealy is in the show, somebody is gonna risk it all. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna risk it all.
Not this light skinned man in them eyes.
They're like the light skinned green eyed man.
Other than that,
Yep.
So she might risk it all. We don't know. We haven't gotten that far in the season yet. We don't know. But Hillary, I like that she's a boss. I think Carlton has anxiety and he was sniffing Adderall or some. It was an anxiety medication.
He said Xanax is what he told Will.
Yeah. So it wasn't coke. It was something else with the show. It showed the jealousy and the envy.
Yeah.
It showed the black family who came up and they reached, I kind of saw it as them reaching back out to grab the nephew.
Yeah.
And the spoiled and the privilege of Carlton. It was almost like you being so spoiled that you won't even allow them to embrace this young man who was troubled. Like some y'all have the space to give somebody else that opportunity. So I think that was like a really great part of the story. I get what everybody is saying. I'm trying to figure out what the issue is with Ashley being gay. A part of me is like, what she like? I don't feel like her storyline fits in here just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I feel me either. I feel like it will eventually, but not now. From what I saw, I don't really.
So so I did see up to that part where I think that was the last episode that I was watching where she came out to her sister, and I think what sums it up for me is why this could possibly work for this particular character is 2 places where they were at the dinner and she spoke to the sex positive guest that is in the house.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the episode that I saw.
Explaining to her how people can go through all kinds of different types of sexuality, and they can feel different types of ways, and all of those things are okay. Some people feel that this is all of who they are, and some people feel that it's going to transition with them throughout their life. I loved that, and how she said either is okay. Whichever you decide is okay. And then I also loved how Hillary reinforced to her that she should not have it all figured out. The fact that she doesn't know one way or the other
at 12, like,
is okay. You're 12. Exactly.
12.
So no, you don't have to make this big out statement to the family and have everybody having all this conversation. And whoa, you told someone, I got you. You good. We gonna do what you need to do. You're in a safe place. I got you, sis. If ever you need me, no matter if I'm in this building or if I'm over there, holla at your girl and I got you. That is what needed to be said. If it doesn't really even go anywhere, if in 2 episodes we see Ashley with a little boy,
okay,
and like, yes, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because
You said what you needed to say, and it's good.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I like I said, it's something about Hillary's character that I like this time.
Mm-hmm.
The big sister, the oldest, the first one to have to transition out of the house, and she finding herself, you know, I do like that. Like, to me, that is more realistic. That's a more realistic family. As much success as they have, she's still trying to figure herself out. Is there an expectation that she should have it together because of who her parents are? You know, so I like that she's finding her own thing, and even her courage to stand up to her mother. There's a couple episodes where they had they butted heads, and she was like, well, I wanted you to do this because of my sorority sisters and, you know, and all of that. But she's like, nah, ma, this is what I want to do. You know, so
and I love how her sorority sisters also reinforced the fact that she's not so out there as you might think. You know, like it was a generational gap closure in a way. Like, hold on, you know, she might have a little bit, you might time to push little birdie out the nest and tell her to do her thing, but she's not so far away. These kids are more courageous than what we were. You know, they are willing to risk it all in a different way than what we were. So I love that.
I really do. I commend that. I love the idea of just going for it. And that is like, I like the fact that she's not so dependent. She knows she comes from money. She knows that, you know, money is not an issue for them. Everything is basically at her disposal. However, she is so brilliant and so intelligent that she insists on making a name for herself. And I really love that about her character. Like, she is like, no, I'm going to get out and get it. And I love the fact that she stood up to her mother like, yo, I'm not asking for anything but for you to tell me that this is okay. You know, just tell me I'm good. I don't need your approval. I don't need any of that. I just want you to tell me that this is okay. And I love that.
There's a lot of growth to be had with those two, because I picked up on what I think is moms put the paintbrushes down to be a mom. And that's what Hillary doesn't really get yet. And Pops is trying to like buffer this real woman conversation that needs to be had between them. Because like I've been watching, I was like, ooh, like, whoop, she almost got her. Like, she was like, oh, you want to know where my passion went, do you?
Oh, you want to know? You want to know? I was too busy being your mama.
Yeah, she was
you want to know? Sit down.
Right there. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where that goes, because it's necessary. And the thing that I think is so different and that's jarring to those of us who watch the original Fresh Prince is we were children watching a comedy, a family-driven comedy. The deepest episodes that the Fresh Prince ever had was when his daddy came back and left him, and he did the crying in the living room thing, and as a grown man, and Uncle Phil had to hold, grab him up. And then when Carlton had the
exactly.
That was it. Those are the two deepest episodes that 10 damn seasons of Fresh Prince ever probably touched on. So the fact that they have made this one a drama and they've aged these characters, they put them into 2022. If you have to take all of that family comedy buffer off of those people, Carlton would not have been this Carlton. Carlton would have been that conniving, selfish,
and
jealous.
He was in the original series because he made sure he expressed his disdain for Will being there. He did not like him being there. He did not want him there. He told him he didn't want him there. So all of that came definitely from the original series. I don't know if people forgot that, but he expressed how much he did not want him there and how much he wanted him to go home and he didn't want him leeching off his parents. That was in the original series.
And again, I think we have to think of it from our youthful minds and how this one was so important to us. But if you take that buffer off of these characters and really look at them, this is probably who we would have seen. If this show would have been geared for prime time for our parents, this show would have been a totally different show even back then. You know what I mean? So I'm completely here for it. I think it's going to. I was excited to hear in the podcast that it was already greenlit for 2 seasons.
Good.
So we will definitely get a second season of this, no matter where this one is. Peacock was so here for it that they automatically gave it too. So I was like, okay. But I'm excited to see where this goes for these actors, for the storylines, and let us not forget Jeffrey.
Woo! Oh,
no killer out here in these.
With all the zaddy energy that gets it done. Like
he's a whole boss. He's a whole guy. Jeffrey is a boss.
Yes, sir. Like he pulled up in the pair. I didn't ask because I have no plans on paying.
Okay, but so let's compare Joffrey to the original one. Joffrey was the buffer. Joffrey was the one who made stuff happen. He was the one that all the kids confided in. He knew all the secrets. He knew the parents' secrets. He knew the kids' secrets. All of that from the original series.
He took care.
He did. He was the man. Period. Even
he is.
Man. Like Joffrey, if anybody knew anything about the family, it was him. He knew all the kids' business, all the mama business, all of that, and he never exposed anybody to anybody else. He handled it himself. So now he's doing the exact same thing in the new series. He's just taking care of it himself. Don't even worry about it. I got it.
Yeah, I got it. We're going to go home and have his drink, and we're going to have us a good night. I got you.
Now, I do love, because it's showing a black man having that advisor. Jeffrey wasn't the one, give me your bags and go, I'm going to cook the food, you know. Like his right hand man, his advisor, his other set of eyes. So that's what I saw too, like a powerful black man who's just not out there like a loose cannon. He gets like the risk of his success. And he has a Jeffrey. Like Jeffrey is almost like everybody don't see or know who Jeffrey is.
No.
The family knows that Jeffrey is there.
Yeah.
Phil knows that Jeffrey is there. And Jeffrey is almost like that man that's being in places that Uncle Phil cannot.
Absolutely.
Man, you talk about brotherhood or having some accountability, you know, that everybody talk about.
Yeah.
That part is just like, that's pretty dope.
I loved when he told him, like, meet him where he's at, bro. Like, little man is trying. He's like, I've watched him chat when he was, you know, trying to let Uncle Phil know, like, he was about to give up on him. He'd been there like 2 damn days. I was like, like, let's say it ain't even been a weekend and you already know he's back out. So when he stopped and, you know, kind of grounded him and let him, this is a lot, like, for anybody, especially that baby has PTSD. Somebody needs to sit Will on a couch. First of all, you know what I mean? So let's just stop there, first of all. But for him to be an outside looking in to someone who is an outsider now plopped in the middle of it, and then to be trusted for Uncle Phil to be like, all right, you know, and then he goes and he actually gets out there and bonds with him, meets him where he is and helps him through that. I was like,
there we go.
And you didn't have to cuss him out. You didn't have to embarrass him. You had a drink with that man and explain to him from a different perspective what this young man needed. Change their whole relationship.
Jeffrey is necessary. Jeffrey is definitely necessary. I love that the family was in the kitchen. You know how dad was flipping the pancakes. I loved it. Like, that's a part, you know what I mean? From the show, it was this whole, but you know, the whole Butler thing, but they had those family moments. As much as it was some, you know, people don't like the drama and all, but there was some good family moments. Show up for each other. They pull together and support each other. And I think that's, to me, like, some people might be focused on the wrong things and missing those things that we highlighted tonight. Like, it's some dope stuff in there. Reality.
I'm very excited for it.
Very
excited.
So y'all go watch it.
I think we can go and roll on to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, this one, Lord. Just because two women have had the same man doesn't mean they've had the same man. Hashtag read it again. Yeah, I did.
Deep.
Oh,
Who being deep?
my God. This this feeds, when I saw this feeds so much into the I am a good man attitude for me.
Mm.
Because everybody thinks that they are a good person. But ask yourself, were you a good person to everyone?
Mm.
One same person, same man. You have one woman who he did a half-ass job of caring for. He did a half-ass job of paying attention to. He was dismissive. He wasn't there, and it could be due to a lot of things. It could be immaturity. It could be his level of immaturity. He just could not be there emotionally. There are a lot of things that come with why a person conducts themselves with one person, then they do another. I don't necessarily, it could also be the other woman. Like there are other things, like he could be dealing with two different personalities. But I feel like, don't say that you were so fantastic and you did all of these great things. Then you have to be able to explain why this person can't stand your guts. Come on, like, hello, something is not being considered. Somebody about something. Like there is no way that you have been the same mature, consistent, there. Like you have not been this person throughout your entire lifetime. So you cannot make an enemy out of the person who hates your guts. And then one person loves the ground that you walk on. They're getting two different versions of you for whatever reason. Now, it could be that the first person brought out the worst in you. It could absolutely be that. And so I will not discount that. Some people absolutely bring out the ugliest part. They absolutely do. And then there are those people who just compliment you so well that they bring out the absolute best in you.
Have you out here acting like a new person? Who am I?
Yes. Thank you. So two people can definitely experience different parts of the same person. But I will say that both of them could absolutely be right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that one person is dismissed as crazy because they had a different experience. They are probably absolutely right in the experience that they had with this man.
That's true.
And you are probably absolutely right in your experience. Neither of you are wrong. Both of you are right. He is just choosing, or has evolved into, giving someone a better, more mature, more sound, more stable version of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's assuming that the different man is a better one. That's just with the assumption that the versions are better. Like there's an upgrade happening, because sometimes you just get different versions of trash in behavior. Candice, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Now that you broke it down like that, that is really, really good. Because I remember another post, I think in one of the groups, talking about the husband finally stopped drinking when he married somebody else. I guess
And
it's like, but he said, now the only problem I think I have with when a person says why they changed or why they decide to do something is when they say it's because of this other person. And it's kind of like, now she probably wasn't maybe she said things the wrong way. Maybe her delivery was wrong. I don't know. But he said like he said that the other woman was patient.
Yeah.
Then he eventually stopped drinking.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, like it's almost like the man who was cheating for all these years. Like I said, I got married in my 20s. If my husband has been cheating all in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and then he remarries at 50 and wants to settle down, he 50 though.
Right? This is not the same.
Like what? Right.
His dingling probably not working like that.
Probably can't drink like you used to drink before.
You ain't getting down like you used to. That's probably the problem.
That
you
will motivate you.
Man, you got the tied one. You tied.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, some people do change, and it's just, and I don't even think, I like you were saying, it probably was meant for you to have that experience that you had with them so they can change and become whoever they are now. You know, whoever they are now. I don't think, because we all got free will, we all choose which way we want to go about things in our life. But when they want to, when they need to,
they will. Absolutely.
But like I said, don't make it seem like, well, when I was with her, I couldn't change or something.
Yeah.
You was a crackhead then, you still a crackhead now. Yeah. Like, I put that on nobody else.
That's right. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that, Rashad. People definitely treat you how you allow. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you allow him to drink, or if you probably said no drinking in the house, and maybe that worked for you. She was probably more reasonable and show her frustration in other ways.
Yeah.
So like I said, it was different then than it is now.
Yeah.
And you didn't get the same person, but like you were saying, don't make it seem like this person was just hell on wheels.
Yeah.
Or if you decide to move on, make sure you mention that me and her didn't last, but she took a lot of crap off me because I was spending our money, acting the fool.
Exactly.
In the yard, Yeah, like she had to pick me up out the yard. I was drunk, so you don't get to experience that.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Absolutely.
But the other person did. And I think honor both sides of it. Just be real. That's one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, be real about who you were, who you are now.
Yes.
Live in the past, and don't let people hold it over your head.
Yeah.
At the same time,
acknowledge it.
Just keep it real, because that's what we're supposed to be helping each other anyway.
Yeah.
You might be able to help the next person who's an alcoholic, and and like you said, like Rashad said, it can be the same person, just different perspective.
Yeah.
Not everybody fool with Candice. I could be too straightforward. I was told the other day, I think I'm a debater. Conversational. I don't remember.
I mean, it's
pick one.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right. See you tomorrow. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not for everybody. And like Rashad was saying, it's perspective. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this one were, I look at it as and I don't necessarily see it always as a negative experience, although that's generally what we're talking about in these types of things. But I think about how we talk about how people, now you can do these things.
Yes.
Now it's so personal. This is what I read when I saw this. Just because two women have the same man doesn't mean they've had the same man. And I think there's so many different factors that weigh into the person that you get and at what stage of life you get them.
Yes.
So that when we now, as the people who had that first experience, that's not for us to continue to hold on to. I really don't care what you're getting out of this person now. Like, that's not my concern, because that has passed for me. And I think, I've said this as long as I've been in this space, but we have a real issue with possessing people. And we feel like the version of the person that we had possession of should stay that way. And everyone else should be subjected to that version of that person that we got. Not taking into account that experience is going to change that version of them. So whatever version is going back out into the world after they're no longer dealing with us is the new thing. Why do I care? I don't. Because obviously whatever happened in this thing didn't work, because we're no longer experiencing that. So go forth, do you know what I mean? So I don't the next person's not going to get the same version of me that somebody else had. Like, so exactly. I'm not even going to, I don't know why we spend so much time worried about what new boo is doing, or old boo is doing with new boo, or what the other child do. You like, I don't get that, because you can guarantee that there's differences happening in that new experience simply because you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that what you want to, but you're not involved in that thing. So you can't even really, you don't have a say because you can't speak to what's happening there. You're not, you're only observing what you think might be, but what were you covering when you were the one in that situation? What picture were people seeing? What experience were people getting as opposed to the experience that you were getting?
Yeah.
So like, why put yourself through all that stress? You know what I mean? Because now she's just doing the same thing you might have been doing, and it just looks a little bit better. She was able to wrap it up a little bit differently than whatever you did. You know what I mean? So just why are you even worried about that? And don't worry about it, sis. Release yourself. Reclaim your time.
Please. Well, I will say this. So concerning that, so me and my kid's father, we got a pretty hit miss. Well, we cool. You know what I'm saying? We friends. We have deep conversations.
Okay.
And this came up in one of our deep conversations because we have like deep conversations. And the question was there ever a time where you were jealous of the new person in my life? Both of us asked that to each other. And we both answered yes, of course. And my reason for saying yes was because I felt like she got a better version of him. I felt cheated. I did.
Yeah.
Because I saw how caring and involved, and I saw that because we were still cool, like even after we broke up. But I was like, damn, I did feel away, like, oh, why?
Where was that when I was
right? Why you didn't do none of that for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that. I needed that. I expressed that I needed all of this. And he flat out told me I would have never done any of this with her had you not left me. You left me. I needed that. I needed somebody to show me that I'm not about to tolerate this. I needed somebody. You showed me that what I was not doing was not okay.
Yeah.
So I took what I was not doing into my next relationship, and then I made better choices. So that's why you see me doing what I do with her, because you left me because I wasn't doing it. And so that was a lesson learned. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that
you won. Kind of. Right. There you go. Sip your tea, sis. That man a life lesson.
Period. Life lessons. But yeah.
Good. That is good. But no, I feel you on it. Be like, a lot of people don't divorce because of that.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get whatever it is. It ain't here.
I don't want you to get my investment.
But that's real. That's real, especially when you have children. I be feeling some kind of way, like, I did this, and this. What? I'm from the West Side. We don't go out without a fight.
That's the thing that I've realized, that I don't trip so much on that part, because like that's gonna be whatever. Like, because I think more or less it would be like what Quita talked about, like that. Damn, like you gonna sit with that at night, like you gonna sit about and think about what you did, and that's gonna change a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that I've decided in myself is, if ever there was going to be a situation like that, I know that some of the things that I have done, said, a lot, all of those things in it would not. The next version of me will not look like this me.
Will not look like me.
And I am okay with that. You can do with
David Ruffin and the Temptations. Come on. You was David Ruffin, they the Temptations. It wasn't the same. It just would never be.
And it ain't gonna be. And it ain't gonna be. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try and commit to it being the same. Like, that ain't even the plan.
Not gonna lie to you either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, because that was a much younger, unlifed, unlived,
right. Naive, delusional,
unconfident me on all of the ons, okay?
Listen to me. I'm grown now.
No more.
I'm grown. We ain't doing that no more. I'm grown.
Yeah, I'm grown ass woman, dog. Like,
you play these games?
We ain't playing. We ain't playing.
Yep. All the notes that ever noped, okay? That is what
when no playing.
In no plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no plan.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, sir.
Facts. All right, let's move on to the last one of this half. Go on, scroll us on. Oh, I think all three of us can identify with this one right here.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
I think I sent the huggy one, the huggy emoji on this one in the chat.
Yes.
I used to be the strong friend. I am no longer strong. I allow my community to love me at my weakest.
Lord.
Listen. Oh, this is good.
Which is
It's so
a
good.
sign of a strong person to
Mm,
be able to be that level of vulnerable with the
yeah.
people who are used to seeing you as the strong person and saying,
Yes.
not today,
Listen.
not today.
Listen. That right there preached to me.
That is something that I have struggled with a lot. And if Win was on, he would be doing the eyes closed, head nodding thing right now. I know that's what he's doing in the background. But this is something that I've struggled with over time with having this platform and then also having my business, because there's a level of positivity that I have in my normal personality. Like, I'm a cheery kind of chick. Like, I'm chill, I'm cheery, I like to laugh. Like the me that you get is very much the me that you get. However, I mean, the me that I am. However, there are very dark days. There are not so good days. I have a lot of layers to the woman that you all
Yes.
love, okay? So for a long time, I struggled with sharing the not good days. I would just go dark for like weeks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I would not say nothing. I would only share show stuff or add stuff, but you wouldn't get any me thoughts.
Yeah.
Because if it's not happy go lucky, if it's not cheery, the people don't want that. And that started to affect how authentic I felt in showing up to the people who really know me. And then to wanting to build this relationship with other people who I want to either bring into my brand, who I want to create a relationship with for what I do, as far as my work with women and just being a good sister and, out here trying to be who I am in this world. I'm like, I can't tell someone that their whole self is safe in any space if they only see one piece of me. So I've got to figure out a way to get the not so pretty, not so together, not so cheery me out in a way that is still true to who I am, but that does not bring down the whole damn timeline. You know what I'm saying? Because still at the same time, be real, but don't nobody want to see you out here like that.
Oh my God. Listen, you are preaching.
But when I learned how to do that, when I learned how to say today is not a good day, y'all. Like, it could be something, a couple lines. Your girl is struggling. Like, today I woke up and I didn't had an anxiety attack. I woke up to a bad dream. I didn't stepped over 3 little, and sometimes, and then you still see people say felt. Me too. Today's been rough for me too. I'm glad somebody said it. There's something going on. There is a community in being honest about our human experience. And I think this meme is really, really simplified it, but it's so real in how we have to be comfortable existing as our whole human selves, online, in person, at work, like in all of these different spaces. We have to figure out a way to do that, because it's totally disservicing the community.
Absolutely.
When we don't.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead. You want to go, Candice?
I was gonna say that was the whole, like, when me and Wynn in the beginning and Michelle started, when I started the Woman Cave, it was simply because of that, because there was this exterior that I had, or that people thought of me, to the point where I would, and I shared with somebody else, where people didn't really see my heart. And there was this tough part of me that I had to show the world, but at the same time, the Woman Cave allowed me to create a tighter circle where I could be all of my multiple personalities, I guess, whatever it is I'm
All along.
all of them, you know, and my friends gonna love all of them. And so it created a sisterhood to the point where just recently I had, you know, some situations that I was dealing with, and I like my sisters showed up, literally, like showed up to the point where like, did you eat today? And it's like, honestly, nah, I ain't ate shit. And just showing up, cooked food, came over with food, cooked for me, cooked for the, you know, and she was like, one of the sisters said, let somebody take care of you.
Yeah.
Let us love you. Let us love on you.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down. You are legit weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down.
You are not feeding you. Sit down.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't even got nothing to give. Sit your end down. Cook in your kitchen. And like be on the right, pull up. Like, and so it created this whole like people
pull it up.
I'm talking about like pulled up.
You know, you ask the people, oh, they here.
Yeah.
Oh, they here.
Oh, they outside.
There wasn't even no people to walk through the door.
Outside, hello, we're here. Open the door. I'm outside. Open the door.
Didn't even, there was no knocking, none of that. So it was
I love that. I love
that. But it was just like, that's what it should be. I'm like, growing up in church, I'm not going to no more prayer breakfast. I'm not joining no more prayer lines. I'm not doing none of that stuff. Now, granted, I'm all for I love God whole, like with everything in me. So when it comes to my relationship with the Lord, that's my, that's how I'm rolling. But my, like when those sisters just show up, not just always, well, we gonna pray, because sometimes that's not what I need. Sometimes it just might, like your presence in the house was what I needed in that moment. You know what I mean? So just knowing how to be weak and real in that moment and just allow somebody to take care of you. And then learning how to be a sister in those moments, learning how to let them be who they are, learning how to let them grieve, learning how to let them be weak, knowing when to say it and when not to say it. At the same time, all right, get your ass up, because there's still a goal. There's still a vision that you have. There's still a purpose that you have. So we gonna do this today. Tomorrow, get your ass in the shower.
Yeah. Have your towel on the sink, and the food is gonna be on the stove, and I'm gonna get you ready. But we're gonna have to start tomorrow.
I'm gonna give you today. You have today. I'm not.
I got you today.
You have today. Whatever you need to do. You got it.
You got it. And Quita would tell you, I'll be like, you ain't responding. And Quita know I'm a stalker. So unfortunately, it's only like you don't get more than 24 hours. If I
That's like me and my girls do. I'm gonna find you now.
She texts me like, "What you doing?" And I'm like, "Sis, it's a day.
Right,
it's a day."
Okay, because I ain't heard from you, and you know how I am, and I will roll up. So I will roll up. So I love the fact that those are the kind of women relationships that I needed. Like you saying, Q, like being like, some of us are just created to be a boss. You know, some of us are just created to, I don't like when people say, man, if I'm taking a lot of hits, people say you built for it. No. So I'm built to get my ass kicked out.
Right. Like I don't want to be built for that. You don't say in the midst of ass whippings. Like do not say.
So I'm supposed to do these ass whippings. Like, so who's bandaging me? Like, do you know eventually after so many ass whippings, something is going to break. You know, so I need my sisters to, when I like you coming for me, it was literally one of those moments where I couldn't fight.
Like it's one of them.
And when I was like that, my sister was right there. You know what I mean? So it's up to you as the strong person to understand, like when you need to have that moment. Like, look, I don't have it. Take me in the cave like they do in war. I'm wounded. Take me in the cave. Y'all shoot at them mugs. I need a minute.
Right. Like I need a minute.
Yeah.
I need cover me. Me. That's basically what it is. So yeah, you got to recognize when it's time to shut down, or you'll end up somewhere in the hospital and they say you lost your mind, you had a nervous breakdown, and nobody truly understood the real you. So get you some sisters. That's all I can say.
And just one more thing before we move to this next piece. But what you just said right there was so important when you said know when it's time to, know when it's time, but also know when your people are telling you it's time. Often we are the last people to recognize that it's time to sit down because we constantly telling ourselves, I got it, I got it, I got it, I'm okay, I got it, I'm okay. But if one too many folks that know you at your true operating capability, like your real operating capacity, and they look, are you okay? You sure? Okay, but no, are you good? Like, ask more questions, pause, and wonder, ask that person, why you keep asking me that? What is it? What's up? You know what I mean? And then listen, really listen, because especially being that strong person, people don't know how to tell you to sit down. Yeah. Your people do not know how to tell you enough is enough, because then that's somehow saying that you're weak, and we can't be weak. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, you will say what now? I'm a what? Like, I can do it. We don't like people to tell us we built for it when we not built for it. Right. But the question to suggest that I'm not built for it. Say what? Like, how dare you, until I'm telling you I'm not built for it. You don't get to tell me I'm not built for it. Yeah. We need to start to shift that a little bit. Yeah. And allow those people that are in our tribe, that are in our circle, our sisters that know and love us, not some random folks who are putting promise onto us, who want to see something in you that they want to see. Know the difference now, because there's a lot of folks who see a future for you that is for them, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Absolutely. The people who see the future that you see for you, when they start to see you slipping, listen, because they will often save you from them playing with your face moments, them had the outburst at work, and you're now crying in the car because you done embarrassed yourself and you done lost all your marbles and all this other stuff. Like, because that's what happens. It usually manifests into crazy, embarrassing, humiliating, like, oh my God, like, now we need wine immediately, meet me at the house type stuff, because you just didn't catch it. You know what I mean? So listen for those, and listen to the people who love you. Don't get defensive first. They're telling you out of love. They're trying to save you from you. A lot of the time, they're trying to save you from yourself.
Yep. I experienced one of those moments. I would say it has to be back in like 2019. I had a very, very, very rough 2019. Well, I could say I literally cried more tears in 2019 than I cried, I would think, in a combination of my whole life. Like, boo-hoo, you hear me? And it's so crazy because I'm always the friend, like, what do you need? What do you want me to do? Like, I'm the friend who gets upset when you need something and don't ask me. Like, I'm that friend. I'm like, yo, you knew you needed something. Anything, like, that's me. Like, I'll come kick your door in if I don't hear from you. Yo, what's to you? But I had like such a rough 2019. Like, I cried more than I had ever cried in my life. And then, like, my friends were like, don't respond, don't react, just be. Mm-hmm. And if anything needs to be done, anything needs to be said, I'll say it. I'll do it. Because I was so broken, and I was so, like, I was just out of it. It was so much going on at one time, and I was out of it. And my family and friends came through. When in 2019, I discovered who I needed to have in my life.
Yeah.
I discovered, like, there was no question that the friends that I have were the exact friends that I need. God is so clutch. Like, God know, like, he gonna show you in your worst of times, whether you have right people around you. Absolutely. And they were just like, you don't have to be strong right now. You can cry. It's okay to cry. I got you. You don't have to feel bad about crying. You don't have to be embarrassed about cry if you need to cry. I got
you. Good aloe Kleenex. Sis.
Yes. The lotion, yes.
The lotion, the puff. No red nose on my wife.
No judgment. If you need to, I'm like, yo, I'm calling. Like, I need to cry. They come on over. Come on. Come cry. Come lay on my couch. Come vent. Come cuss. Come cry. Do what you need to do. And it's like, I never had to be that person before, and so I had to be told that I could be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be given permission.
Love that.
I had to be given permission to say, you can cry.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're hurt. It's okay that you're sad. Like, it's okay if you need to vent. It's okay if you need to talk about it, because you're so used to being the person who's the ear and the shoulder and the listener and the doer and the goer, that when it's your time, you don't really know how to maneuver that. You have to be told, like, it's okay. It's okay. That is real talk. That is so good.
We prayer lines open if y'all need. Get you some sisters is all I can say.
Okay. Best thing going.
Some sisters, baby.
Best thing
They are
going.
necessary.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen. I love
All
it.
right. So we are just I done got behind on my time, but it's okay. We're gonna catch up real quick.
Okay, we're gonna catch up.
It's time for us to pay a couple bills. Per usual, I want to remind everyone that the Scoop is open and excited to provide you with promotional opportunities with us here during the show, as well as via our email subscriptions and our replays. So you have the opportunity to advertise with the Scoop or Global Drive Network, specifically the Scoop. We have all the things available to you, from your $9 budget all the way up to our Big Daddy package, our Big Daddy package of up to $500, where we're going to pull out all the bells and whistles for you. But our audience is constantly growing. Last year was an amazing year for the Scoop. So don't sleep on us, y'all. We got eyes out here, and we want your business to have those as well. So if you are interested, please reach out to the Panda himself, Mr. Winfred Burns, at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, and we'll get you hooked up with one of our advertising packages to suit your business needs. And I think we got one more. This is new. I'm not watching the boards.
Who's that? We follow all the same people, whoever screen it is.
Have you heard about the Blocked and Beautiful Braid Balm from Elegance by Design? The days of braids being weighed down by heavy products that don't hold are over. Blocked and Beautiful Braid Balm is perfect for box braids, updos, and the most intricate of braid styles. Let your creative juices flow, knowing Elegance by Design has your braids on lock. Order yours now at elegancebydesign.com.
See? Or you could have something like that. Because we out here with our promo in these Scoop streets. Oh, my goodness. All right. So I think Shaquita might have took a quick break on us, if that's okay. I think our next topic is one that has got quite a bit of reading to it anyway. So that's good. There you go, sis. Hey, girl. All right. So we're going to come on into this second half, talking about a little more. They got a little more weight on them. Okay, these next three topics got a little more weight attached than the previous topics, but we're gonna go ahead and dig into it. Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
What's up to everybody in our comment section? By the way, I know we've been chatting it up, but I want to say I see y'all, and good look at my phone will not allow me to comment in real time with y'all, so I appreciate you. So our first topic of the second half is talking about hashtag divorce. Okay. And this is from Sir Alexio Bayou. I think I pronounced his last name right. I know when divorces happen, many times people are heartbroken and consider it some great social ill. However, the premises under which people enter into and embrace to sustain their marital unions are often shoddy at best. They believe things about God, themselves, their spouses, and marriage on the whole that can be deeply oppressive and toxic. The ending of a marriage can very well be an indication that the individual has finally come face to face with who they are in Christ, and now making needed choices to free them from what can legitimately be a neurotic situation where values, visions, ambitions, convictions, and character of both parties can be in deep contradiction to each other. Better divorced and delivered than married and miserable. Mm. Now that'll preach. That'll preach.
Listen,
Ooh, that's so loaded. Oh
I
my,
concur. Everything he said, I concur.
yeah, that's so loaded.
And I concur.
See, as church people, and if Wynn was on here, he would probably dig into this a little bit more too, because he's gone through divorce. Um, this this is this is obviously somebody who grew up in church too, or who got church back because they
Mhm.
like that they had to iterate this so deeply.
Beautifully.
Like, there is a pressure, and I'm speaking even from experience. There's definitely, especially for a woman. I ain't never been a husband, so I will speak for a woman that when it comes to marriage and the pressure and the weight of your family together, save your marriage and all of that, it's so heavy. It's so, and it can even be like a guilt put on you if you think about if if you express your disdain or whatever you feeling about wanting to leave the marriage. It's and unfortunately, before the black church started acknowledging mental health and real licensed counselors, it was well-meaning people giving counsel when it
Yeah.
came to marriage. And
Yes.
it was when the scriptures were manipulated and things like that, to the point where it made people feel like God was disappointed if you divorced. So
Yes.
it wasn't even so much as like the guilt of the divorce itself, is that the true desire really is to please the Lord. And there's a guilt that comes along with a failed marriage, where you feel like you disappointed so many people attached to you, because there is purpose in it. But like he said, it's better to be delivered than to like they one of the fruit of the spirit is long suffering, and you'll be surprised at how many people tell you to ask God to show you how to suffer or help you suffering. And I do believe the challenges do build character. There are certain to challenge you and bring you to strengthen your character and those type of things. However, there are people who believe that they are called or to endure this, and maybe they are. But it's been I don't know, but that's been the thing. So yeah, it's that's been a tough one, where when you hear about those who stayed so long and then divorced, that's, if you really ask, it has so much to do with that background of that guilt and that willingness to please God, to where so many other voices and advice end up getting in your head and getting in your way, to where you stay long in a situation where God is not pleased anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I've always wondered. Angel just made a comment that basically brought up what I've heard for a very long time. I was not raised in the church, but whenever this conversation would come up, it would always end up in saying God hates divorce. Like it,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
God hates divorce. And I thought to myself, well, does he love all these other situations? He can't possibly
Does
love
God love me?
what's happening if this, divorce. I'm pretty sure he'd be all right if this would stop happening. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is my young woman, early teenage mind, when having some of these and overhearing some of these conversations that older women would have with people who were getting ready to marry, and I would think to myself, of all the things that I've learned about what God loves in us, for us, about us, I don't see how divorce ranks this high to the point where it would keep us in.
Right.
You know what I mean? How does it outweigh
Absolutely.
all of the other way? You know what I mean? And so that always, and I always thought, well, maybe I missed that Sunday where they tried that together. I understand, and I lead with, I know I done missed some things, okay? But that never quite connected for your girl. Like,
Yeah.
he loves a lot of things, but I have a feeling, he might dislike it a little bit. But I know he wouldn't like what this is going on over here. Like So yeah.
So as a single, never married person, one thing I will say, and I grew up in church. My daddy was a preacher. and we was at every service, every week, every time of the day. But one thing I've always pursued and always wanted to know and always wanted to find out was the true heart of God. I just want to know what the heart of God is towards me. And as I have gotten older, like I said, in my younger years, I heard the God hates divorce. I have seen pastors tell women to stay with men who were beating on them and cheating on them and bringing them STDs and having outside kids and telling them that they should stay because God hates divorce. And one thing that I always pursued was just, I want to know the heart of God. And I just refuse to believe that any God who loves me so much and cares for me so much and gives me so much provision and gives me insight and gives me knowledge and tells me step by step how to make it through the day and provides me when I don't have, would ever want me to stay in a situation where a man is abusing me, using me, mistreating me, and
not loving me as though he would.
And because you literally said that Christ loved the bride, you know, you are to love me as Christ loves the church. And you cannot sit here and look me in my face and tell me that I'm supposed to stay in this situation when this man is not loving me like Christ loved the church.
Right.
You're not going to tell me that God is going to be mad at me for leaving. You're not going to tell me that God is okay with me being in this situation, because then you have to ask, does God love him more than he loves me? God okay with the way he's treating me versus how I'm being treated? Is God okay with this? Like, and so once I came to the realization of the love that God has for me, because it's not something that you automatically know. It's something that you kind of grow into. It's kind of something that you kind of figure out along the way. Like, God really loves me. How dare I allow a human being to come in and treat me any less than the Father himself would treat me? How dare I?
Yeah.
Why are you allowing this? Then there comes that point. I did not tell you that you had to endure this. I did not.
Now you're disobeying me because I didn't tell you that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I never told you that you had to deal with this. I never told. People told you had to deal with this, but I never said that you had to deal with this type of mistreatment. I never said that. So then I'm like, okay, and this is all from being unmarried, but I have such a desire for marriage that I do kind of look into those things. And I'm like, God would never want that for me. And so I, as a child who grew up in the church from a baby, like I've always been in church, I have learned to tell church people to go to hell. I have.
I'm not doing that with y'all. No,
I'm not doing this with y'all because you're not dealing with this man mistreating me. You're not dealing with this man lying on me. The only thing you're doing is offering your unorthodox, unasked for opinion concerning the situation that you are not in. And so I can't take you seriously. I'm going to follow the word of God, and God says I don't have to be treated like this. And since God says I don't have to be treated like this, I won't. I don't care what you say. Mother, deacon, pastor, apostle, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, but absolutely. I feel like a lot of people stay in marriages and they stay because they are pressured, because people tell them to, and then they don't even consider the fact that the way that this person is being treated is breaking them down mentally and physically. People are experiencing a premature death and sickness because they are staying in situations that God never wanted them to stay in because they listen to church folk. I won't let you make me sick. I won't let you let me die like this. I will not. I'll get a divorce and have y'all talk about me to my grave before I stay in a situation where I'm sick and dying for the rest of my life.
The thing that I've thought about the most, being someone who's not been in the church or anything like that, I've realized when I've observed when I see these conversations happening, the rationale that's given for staying, enduring, working through it, praying for it, whatever the case may be, is often because they don't have a backup for the alternative. I don't have a way to handle what happens if this doesn't work for you. I don't
Yes.
know how to fix the brokenness. I don't
That's
have
it.
a spot to put that doesn't fit in
Yep.
where we're going or the vision, the aesthetic of what we're trying to do. I'm uncomfortable with how to now counsel this
Yes.
part of you. So
Yes.
instead, let's just keep it in the marriage box and pray about it and say
Yes.
God is going to take care of it because God loves marriage, but He hates divorce. So it's often, and I want to. Being in the observing space for this particular situation, it's like I want people to see that, recognize that sometimes the people that you're asking to counsel you just are not equipped to deal with that level of counsel. And that is how we get that circle of, is it that God hates divorce, or is it that the church, start to really qualify some of this advice that we're getting and wonder, is it because this isn't the answer, or that they don't have an answer?
Absolutely.
They don't have an answer. And you start to learn just how much people don't trust God like they say they do.
Right.
The reason you stand is the fear of being embarrassed. And that's a spirit of shame, and that's a spirit of pride. What God are you listening to by telling someone to stay because of the embarrassment? And like you're saying, so you have to recognize the guilt that's in the other people that, like you, I realize some advice that people have given me in marriage is really because as a woman, they didn't have the balls to do certain things.
Yeah.
They didn't have the guts to do certain things or say certain things or stand up against certain things. So I remember being told I was too mouthy or too confrontational, or the one scripture that they all use against women, especially if you're a woman with a strong personality, is the one that the man would rather go be on the leaking rooftop than to be in the house with a nagging woman. When really that scripture was used to, like, almost abused to get you back in line.
Yeah.
Keep you in line.
In my brain, I immediately said, bye.
And get your butt on that rainy rooftop. But it was manipulative to say, like, this is almost like the reason he don't love you or don't cheat on, or the reason he cheated on you is because you. Like, they don't even realize how manipulative they were using the scriptures to keep a person in a situation that they themselves didn't have the courage to even get out of, or they themselves were experiencing in that moment and didn't know how to get out of. And so they're doing and saying what they were told.
Yeah.
And the cycle of abuse, and the cycle of emotional abuse, the cycle of financial abuse, the cycle of, hierarchy, all this stuff. It's just like, it repeats itself.
Yeah, it does.
Finally, somebody, it's rhetoric. It's all religious rhetoric.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've all suffered from it at some point, in our walk with Christ, especially if you grew up in church. But once we, like how we talked about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's like this new version. These people are have courage. These people are standing out and figuring out who they are and being confident who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not allowing themselves to be controlled by the elders and, by those well-meaning.
Yeah.
The counsel should come from them because they've been on this earth longer, or they've been married longer. So that counsel is wise. No, it's not. It's keeping you oppressed.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Gotta qualify it. Qualified.
Yeah.
All right. It's 9:30. We're pushing on through. All right. We got two more. I want to hope we can get through these. All right. So next. This is what I'm going to have to. Y'all know this is my trick. This is one of my trigger subjects. Yeah. All right, Wayne, you can go and pop it up now. Bernie Starnes says, oh, no, you flipped it on me. See, I was ready, and then this is a different one.
Wait.
That's my first one.
Yeah, flip it back. Wayne trying to save me from myself, yeah.
That's what it is. He put up the force field.
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna see if this is like that.
Oh, Wayne, change it out.
He's probably trying to click over. He's clicking. I can find it in our all right. So We'll bring it up for us in a moment. But Bernice Starnes says, there it is.
Ooh,
Heterosexual black people treat homosexual, transsexual black people just like racist white people treat black people.
my
They
cousin, I'm
refuse.
so mad.
They refuse to see it.
Ooh.
First of all, oh, this sets me on fire. My God, this may go against everything that everybody feels. I don't care. I came into this world black. I did not choose it. I did not say I want to be black. So for you to say that black people treat homosexual or transsexual black people like racist white people, first of all, that's a lie. I feel that racist white people have some type of demonic force inside of them that cannot be measured against anything. I think it's like it's like the type of hate it's so deep seated like that I don't believe that any hate that the white people have towards black people can be compared to anything. I just don't. That's just personally how I feel. Um, I don't hate bisexual or transsexual people. I don't. I let me tell you what I do hate: the attention seeking. That's it. That's all. I'm okay for you being gay. Knock yourself out. Like, don't nobody care. I mean, you gay. I mean, be gay. Who cares? Like, that's your choice. Like, knock yourself out. And I'm definitely against people committing crimes and inhumane acts against people just because they gay and transsexual. Like, who gives you the authority to mistreat somebody because you don't like their choice or you don't like how they are? Like, none of who they choose to be or what they choose to do affects you directly. So what makes you feel like you're justified in being hateful and mistreating them and any of that? Like, I feel that the meme is extreme. I don't feel like uh I don't feel like they are treated like racist white people treat us. Um but and I also feel like there is a group of us, there is a large portion of us who does not understand what it's like to treat a human being like a human being. It does not matter what their sexual preference is, what their choice is, what they decide. What gives you the authority to tell them what they can, can't, shouldn't, or should be allowed to do as a human being? I do understand that perspective, but I just don't ever feel like anybody could ever hate anybody the way that white people hate black people. I have yet to see that. I have yet to see that.
I get the correlation that they're saying. And like I told someone white, you'll never understand what it is to be a black woman because you're not a black woman, you know. So I would never understand what it's like to be a black gay person. Um, so I think I get what I get it. I get what they're saying, and I agree with what you're saying because the ugliness of racism, yeah, it's like, man, that's really, it's deep. Racism is really really deep.
It's super
Um, but and the similarities, like there are white people who don't like black people, but they will use their gifts. And
yeah,
it's almost the same with homosexuals. In the church, like black church, black people, they will use the gift of a homosexual,
yeah.
but they treat them like a disease on the flip side, So even with the show, like Ashley, why is Ashley gay? I don't know. Like why? Like, that's the issue with like her being gay. Is like the show is good and then Ashley gay. Power is good until those two men start kissing. Uh, it's just like, I don't know. I guess they gay. I don't know.
That's my whole thing. I'm like, they gay. Like, what? They gay.
But people of color have an issue with that,
We
and
have it. We need to own that. Like, we really need to do better.
And I think when I read it, I was like, extreme. But then, read it again, read it again. And then, like I said, I see some things in
I
the
don't know.
news feed. It's
think
like, like when they talked about, like I said, comparing the drama with the Bel Airs, and just Ashley wasn't gay. Is that it? Because other than that, I think I want more of Ashley. Other than that, she just seemed like that kid that just like they just brought Ashley in just to say there's Ashley, But being gay is an issue. Like I said, I like watching Power or the recently. Now the people being gay is an issue. Every time someone comments about a show, being gay is an issue, and it's always an issue. And I think that is something that we need to face and own. It's a bit extreme when we talk about racism.
Absolutely. And that's my whole issue with it. And my issue is not, I just don't like the idea of homosexuality being compared to racism.
Yeah.
Because there is no way you can, in my opinion, of course, there are different sciences. I didn't choose to be black. And
okay, so wait, I want to come in here now. As a member of this community, I don't know if I've ever said it out. I am bisexual and a black woman. And it was not a choice. That's the one thing that really, the one thing, but that is the privilege that people who are not in this community have, regardless of your nationality, your race.
Mm-hmm.
The thought that it is a choice that one chooses to be gay, trans, whatever the case may be. It's not. Yours just being black is just what's seen. People choose to share their sexuality with others in an effort to be better understood, to be better seen, to be better, to show up as themselves like everybody else does. That's the choice. Not choosing to love or engage with someone different than the rest of humanity decides to do it with.
Okay.
That's the choice. The way that Black people specifically, and I can say this because everyone doesn't know that I'm bi. So I've been able to hear a lot of the hate and anger and sheer stupidity that is shared around this specific subject simply because folks just don't want to learn, don't care to learn, don't try to learn, don't. And we as Black people, whether it's the church, it's the club, it's the park, we suck at this subject. There's a very small pocket of us who, whether it be through relationship or their personal experience, or just because they let humans be humans, are like, hey, do what you do, love who you love, it is what it is.
It's so uncomfortable.
You kind of do though, because it's, I don't care as long as I don't see it. As long as you're
not like it to be compared to racism. It's like,
but we do that.
I
We
don't
do
like
not
that.
have the power as a collective to shift things the way that white folks do for racism. But within our communities, we absolutely have the power to shift the experience of the people within our communities. That is a cop-out that we as Black people use. We ain't got the power that white folks have. We do. In our village, in our churches, in our schools, in our families, we hold that power so that our Black bodies, no matter who they lay down with, can go out and be empowered and confident and safe because they know they can come home and we got them. We do not do that in our community, sis.
We don't do that. But we say
this in our communities. We do not do well at this.
Don't. But I will say this: my issue was with the meme. My issue with the meme is being compared to racism. That bothers me. I of course you see the equivalent to it. I just don't. I don't see it. I feel like racism is totally different. I do understand.
Completely excommunicate you until you lose a job behind it. And
I was just about to say that. I'm completely aware that there are some people who feel like they have the right to mistreat people just because they're gay. You're weird. I feel like
but that's the same thing with racism, sis. Those people choose to hate people for no other reason other than they are.
Yeah.
That's the choice.
But again, where you and I have the disagreement is that you say it's not a choice, but exactly. But I have a different perspective because I know people who just be like, I hate men, they garbage. I'm gonna go to women. I want to be gay now. And so because I have that personal experience with people, I'm like, well, how you just gonna be mad and like sis, you chose this. Like,
but that is a person who is they're being immature about how they're living their life. You can't compare that person or those people who are manipulating a lifestyle. You cannot put that on the people who are living that lifestyle. Those are different. That's different, sis. That's not a choice. That is not a choice. No one would choose to be the subject of the debates that people are becoming the subject of. Why is Ashley gay? The whole show, like, these shouldn't even be debates. Like, I don't want to talk about who you sexist, but it becomes national news when we find out somebody got a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like, that is the issue. But
and that's why, because I do have that perspective. Like, okay, when they said she was gay, it literally that didn't bother me. I'm like, I don't. So what? She gay? Like, it's gay people everywhere. Like, I mean, why is this a thing? So I just don't. Again, I had it like people being gay. Knock yourself out. People are gay. It is what it is. Gay people exist, and you're gonna be mad to the end of time if that upsets you. I don't know what to tell you. They ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I just do not like the idea that of it being compared to racism. I just don't.
I get what you're saying. I definitely get both sides of it because, especially since I work in higher education and I've seen how the LGBTQIA community, I've seen it. Now I've seen both sides. And being, like I said, being that outsider or having to counsel a student who was mistreated because they were gay.
Yeah.
Or observing how they, kind of look at them when they walk in the room, something like that. You know what I mean? And it's, so I get it. And the meme focuses on Black people versus Black people. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, if I pay attention to my observation, then yeah, I do see that Black people mostly in my timeline have an issue with gay, like with the gay. It's like the whole gay people thing. You know what I mean? Just like white people may have made comments about the Super Bowl being mostly hip hop, the little comments. It's almost the same thing when there's a gay scene in the show that everybody's watching. And like I said, like Ashley, like everybody had this, whatever their expectation of Bel-Air was, I don't even know, but it was like, why she had to be gay. And it's like, I don't know.
Right. And gay people exist. Like, are you mad because gay people exist? That's all, like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Like, it's Black people and how they treat gay people. Like I said, it's something about the gift that gay people possess that is beneficial to you. Like white people, like, because the old Bel-Air to me was beneficial to white people. Black folks being clowning and acting the fool.
Gave them that pretty little picture.
So entertaining white people, but so it's almost the same with, like, within the communities of Black people, like, be gay, but like not openly gay, or like you can't admit to being gay. I don't know. It's such a shame. I don't know what it is, but it's such a shame. And it's like a sense of being so uncomfortable when it comes to the Black community and talking about being gay. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely, and that's the thing, being Black, boom, one strike. Being a Black man, another strike. Being a Black woman, strike. Being Black and gay, another strike, because you're being hated by both sides. Mm-hmm. So it's white people who hate gay people, it's Black people who hate gay people, it's Chinese. Like every culture has an issue. Somewhere in there has an issue with gay people, it seems like. And so I think I get what it's saying. And I get what you're saying too, as far as like the extreme of racism, because Like if you were gay and white, you can hide being gay. I can't hide being black.
Right.
So, and I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing about comparing something so strong.
Yeah.
Racism is just so deep. It's
It
so
is. Yeah.
yeah. But when it comes to the like gay people and like things when involve the community, it's something about that just
I just compare. I took away the whiteness of it and compared the depth of what it feels like,
yeah,
the results of both.
yeah,
The
yeah.
feelings that we get after experiencing racism from white people
Mm-hmm.
is damn near identical
Yeah,
to what it feels like to hear, feel, experience that same thing from the folks who are supposed to be yours.
yeah.
It's
You're
almost worse. I expect it from them.
them.
I'm not supposed to expect it from us. I
Mm-hmm.
do though. First, I know it's coming from home, but I know in a white
Absolutely,
space
is because
it's
black
gonna be
people
completely
in
different.
general just have this thing with being gay. We have the highest population of down low men, period. We have the highest population of down low men just because people don't feel comfortable coming out. And this is why you got all of this foolishness going on. Like, you gay, but you out here starting whole families and
They're
whatnot.
uncomfortable with their own people. It's with our
Right.
own people. Like when
They're
you
doing
think
it at
about
home.
people
Yeah.
coming out, they don't want to come out to their parents, their church,
Of
their
course
family.
not. Of
Things
course.
like
And
they're.
also that also plays into the fact that black people are super overly religious.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk about this. Like this, it's not just it's not even a morality thing. This came from somebody beating you over your head with a Bible in the cornfield. The same person telling you that you could not rise up against your oppressor is telling you that homosexuality is wrong or bad, or that you're a terrible person. You're gonna burn in hell. I, as a person who grew up in church, I abhorred when pastors tell gay people you gonna bust hell wide open. Who told you that, sir? Who told
Now
you
you gonna bust hell
like
wide
that?
open.
Like, I'm like,
And you're gonna be sitting right next to a
you
gay.
gonna be sitting right,
Right there.
you sat up here and
Save
laughed
me a
and
seat.
told me that. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't get that aspect of it. I do understand how it could. I from that point, I'm not gay, but I do have some friends who are gay in their church, and my heart goes out to them because I've seen them experience
Mm-hmm.
terrible situations in church, and I took their side. I took their side. No human should feel like that. Why do I have to feel like this? Why do I have to feel nasty and disgusting when I walk in church? Because I'm gay. Like, that's not okay. And so I feel like as the human aspect of it, we fail to treat humans like human beings. And that's the biggest downfall of all of this. You fail to treat a human like a human being because it doesn't matter gay, straight, orange, purple, or green. I still have the right to have a peaceable existence. I should be able to get up and take my kids to school without having you bothering me. I should be able to adopt without you getting on my nerves. I should be able to come in church and hear about God without you telling me that I'm gonna go to hell and burn in hell's fire because I'm gay. Like, I get that. I get it's not right. It's not okay. And I ain't never gonna justify that because, bruh, it's not cool. It's just not cool to not treat human beings like they're human. These same people that you are talking about have feelings. They have a heart. They have a soul. Why are you so dismissive that you will reduce a person to their sexuality? How dare you reduce a person to that? You don't even look at them like they human no more. You treating them like what they are. You treating them like their sexuality and not like a human being. I don't like that. I have an issue with that. They are human. They have emotions. They have feelings. Like, I don't like that. You should not make nobody feel like they are a terrible person or they gonna burn in hell's fire or God don't love them. That's not cool, bro. That's
Ain't your place. You don't have a hell to put nobody in.
cool.
Simple as that. You're doing too much.
Yeah, and that ain't your decision to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand the unfairness. I definitely see the unfairness. I see the tone that comes from being gay in a black family. Like you see gay family members, like they ostracized, they teased, they talked about, I mean, sis, I know you wanted grandbabies, but you produced a boy and that's the only kid you got and he gay, sis. You gonna have to go get a dog or something. Like, I don't like that ain't his responsibility to procreate for you. Like I feel like a lot of that is expectations placed on your children to fulfill some type of expectation that you had in your head. So because your son is gay, now you feel like a failure, or you feel like your family bloodline is not that's not his responsibility. That's not her responsibility to maintain your expectations that you have in your head. And I think that's where a lot of the issue comes in. I understand and I empathize with all of that. I do. Like I do. It's just that one aspect that I don't get. I do. I understand all
I
of
can respect. We will. This post specifically been floating around since 2016. It will not be the last time we have some level of conversation about it.
Right.
Over time.
Yeah.
I think that's the black community is a large part of why there is so much secrecy and download.
Mhm.
It don't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. And I think we're making strides in our community. There's some effort being made, but I think conversations like this, even those that seem extreme sometimes, help us to peel back some layers and get down to the why of some things and how we can go about changing them. So definitely a good chat with y'all. I liked how this went. This was good.
Yeah.
This was good. Wayne just hit us with a 2-minute warning in our chat. So I'm gonna go. He knows to do that because we can go. We got any more?
That community is a huge opportunity to lead the change. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's good. I'm glad. And Angel mentioned about she's the mother of a transgender young adult. And I was gonna say when you mentioned about the hatred and comparing to racism, like I watched a documentary on transgender, and like there is a lot of stuff that they don't put in the news about the harassment and deaths in the transgender community simply because of people and their hatred for the lifestyle. And so I get like you're saying, I love the extreme. I love how extreme the meme is because it does, when you read it the first time, you like
it makes you pause.
Talk about racism, you want to go there. But then you think about it like, wow, that level of hatred, and you start to observe so many other things and so many parts of conversations, and when you scroll your timeline and stuff like that, you really do see like this is an issue. This is an issue specifically within the Black community, that whatever goes, same with white people, whatever it is about Black people, whatever it is about gay people that makes you so uncomfortable needs to be dealt with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand for the life of me how you think being around a gay person gonna make you gay. I'm sorry, make it make sense.
Yeah, because it ain't.
To make it make sense. Yeah. I ain't know it was something you could catch, but okay.
Lou almost killed me not being gay. I love it. I love it.
A lot of foolishness. Like you hear stupid stuff all the time. You be like, bro, really?
It's crazy.
What make you think because he gay he wants you? He got standards.
So you're not even
standards. He gay. That don't mean he want everything.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes on. That's why I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah,
I agree with you, ladies, and it's something that I would. This is gonna be my final thought. Win. So I'm a double time with this one. I would hope that this last part of this conversation, to me, has been the most important for obvious reasons. But I would hope that as we go out into the world that we love to call fictitious and fantasy of social media, please be mindful that everyone does not see it that way. That oftentimes what we share, how we comment, what we post, what we laugh at, what we encourage could be harmful or helpful, depending on which option you choose, for someone who just needs someone to care, that needs someone to see them. Ask yourself, is it really worth that giggle? Is it really worth those likes? Do you really need those comments? Does your page need to be lit today for this reason?
Right.
Really? When you think about some of the people that you love, some of the people that you say that you rock with, that you support, that you think are awesome, think about their babies. Think about them. Think about the lives that they are trying to lead, the people that they're supporting, and wonder, are you helping with that? Like, are you really contributing to the positive in that? Can you really thump that Bible the way that you do and then spew that hate the way that you do?
Yes.
Damn time.
Yes.
Just wondering. Just because I've been literally brought to tears. Reading some comments and stories that people were thinking were funny, like was really puffing their chest out and having some things. And I thought, if I were to put my babies into your program and they overhear you speaking like you speaking, my child, come tell me what you just said.
We fighting.
Baby.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? And I don't think we really, I know we don't. Because these same folks will in your face and not think about it. So really, really, really just, I'm out here for the giggles and grins. Y'all know I love to laugh. But when it comes to these human experiences and how we show up to and for each other, just think about it.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah.
People definitely need to be treated like human beings. And I think that whenever somebody sees something or hears something and it does not align with what they feel justified in treating a person anything other than human. And I don't like that.
Yeah. Stop
you
that.
You cannot treat a person like they're like, people are human. Like the people, the jokes, the targets, the meme, there is a human being on the other side of that. And I think so many times we just forget that. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Yeah. And I think if I had any final words, it would be, I think all the subjects focused on us being human.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that's when it's all said and done, don't forget that you are a human being. And don't forget that same, like there's gonna come a time or a place where you're gonna want that same grace and stuff extended to you. You might be in a situation that you never thought you would be in. Something you might do might go against the Bible for those of us who, had this conversation earlier about trying to please God. When it's all said and done, you want the same grace and you want the same forgiveness. You want the same mercy. So just be willing to give. And examine yourself. Like these conversations were extreme. We all had our different views, had our own different opinions. So I hope it challenged you to question yourself and go a little deeper, examine your own beliefs and examine what's really your true belief and what was influenced upbringing or church or whatever other influences. And just do what's right. Do what's right in your heart. And know the heart of God if that's your thing. But other than that, let every man examine himself.
That's it.
Everybody say mirror, mirror. Get you one.
Clean it now.
Get the spots out.
Not like these selfies we've been posting out here in these streets. Like, index that thing, okay? Get it, wax on, wax off. And then take a good long look at yourself.
Listen. This has been great, ladies.
Awesome. Yes, this was good. This was really good.
I think we did this ladies' night right. And
we did, girl.
We did.
Oh, this part 2 might have to be I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it on the calendar, okay? We ain't closing the inbox.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you,
Angel.
Hey, and to y'all that have been hanging out with us in our comment section, thank you so much. Be sure and hit share on this replay. As soon as we're done, it takes it about 30 seconds to a minute or so for it to upload, and then you should be able to share the replay to your people now. If you got some ladies who would have enjoyed this conversation, you guys want to have some follow-ups become that 4th and 5th members of the panel tonight, go ahead and put this into the inbox tonight, okay? Y'all press play on this one and have a good conversation, and you guys let us know how it rolled for you. Okay.
Who's the hater in the comments?
Somebody hating in the comments thought it wasn't better than the fellas night last week. Is that
Whatever. Oh, they done went under the scoop show now. Now you want to be all inconspicuous.
Hi, hater.
Hi, hater. Excuse music.
Yeah, on that note, thank y'all for coming out. God bless y'all. Have a good night. Oh my goodness. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks
for having us. Thank you so much.
Foolishness.
We said we can't have no music.
Right. I was just about to say what the music at. We can't have no music.
Outro.
That's how y'all do it.
He was being a hater.
You don't get an outro?
None.
Nothing. We
There
just
y'all go. Good night, y'all.
Bye. This how the show got to end with kisses.
Oh, there you go.
The pettiness is real.
Good job, ladies. Good job.
Thank you. That was a good show.
Great show.
That was good.
I'm going to bed now. I'm going to wash my face and I'm going to bed.
That face was beat though tonight. Listen.
This is my spring break beat.
Oh, whatever.
Get ready for the show beat.
Right.
Period.
Love you, sis. Good night, Sinead.
Yes.
Thank you, Marissa. Kels was in there.
Yes, hey, Kel.
Shout out to Kels.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Kels. I didn't even know she was on.
She was in there.